So yesterday I was recording a video about using historical data to make investments, and it made me reflect on the last 10 years, 20 years. If I had this data, what I would have invested in. And it made me realize that when I was in my 20s and to a lesser extent my 30s, how much money I've thrown away on stupid stuff, especially on being a pushover. I used to be a big pushover and not like to rock the boat, and sometimes bleed away my time, money, energy, resources, just because I didn't want to rock the boat. This is especially true when it came to dating. When I was working on my PhD, I was dating a girl who was taking advantage of me financially. She had a shopping addiction, which I supported. I didn't even like her all that much. I just didn't know how to rock the boat. I practically never said no to a girl until, well, quite embarrassingly, recently. Recently, I would say the first time I ever said no to a girl was probably because we had to stay 6 feet apart, and I didn't want her family to get sick. I'm embarrassed to say that. I used to just hum along, and even if it didn't work out. I had another girlfriend who was an emotional wreck, and she wanted me to see her quite frequently. I had graduated school. I was living in Seattle now. She was still living in Rochester, New York. And I would go home to see her at least 3, 4 times a year, just because I didn't know how to rock the boat. And obviously, very expensive and time consuming and all that. But it's not just personal relationships where I make this kind of mistake. Sometimes I would be doing business and I didn't know how to rock the boat, and oftentimes I would weaken my position. Many years ago, I was driving a Honda Accord. I'm not sure if I ever recorded a video of myself in the car. I was driving a Honda Accord, and when I bought it, I was suckered into buying a bunch of warranties that I really didn't need, just because I didn't know how to rock the boat. I've since learned to try to disconnect the personal chemistry out of the deal, but that's easier said than done. Even to this day, I have difficulty doing that. I got really excited when Seattle went back to phase 3, where we could actually go to a coin shop, but then I realized that, oh my god, this is so much harder than negotiating with a coin dealer online. You know, you get too personal with the dealer. We talk about various girls. We talked about how we spent our quarantine. The dealer's a lot older than me. He talks about his experiences fighting in the Gulf War. And you get too personal that it becomes very difficult to disconnect that from the deal that's going on. It really does sometimes. I had pushover issues when I was working at my job. This was before COVID-19, when we were working in person. People see that I don't like to rock the boat, and sometimes I get taken advantage of. I've had that situation. What really hurt was that after COVID-19 hit and I went to apply for unemployment, and I realized that I took this pay cut that I probably didn't have to take the previous year just because I was such a pushover, that now my unemployment benefit was lower as well. And it felt like a second wound when I saw that. And as a result of all this, I end up having to live out of my car sometimes. I end up not going on vacation, all just to support being a pushover the rest of the time. And when I mentally added it all up, I've probably lost a good 5 or 6 figure sum in my lifetime just from being a pushover. And it really hurt when I saw all the opportunities that I was giving up, not only in my personal life, but in my financial life as well, in terms of being able to participate in some of the markets that I talk about, the neural networks and the astrology. I wish I had some risk capital that I could work on that with. Unfortunately, I lost it because I wasn't willing to take some risk in my life and break the beat of the music sometimes.